Hello, Facebook world. How are y'all doing? I'll give y'all a second to hop on. I done got my hair done, so I got this new look, this new color, darling. But I ain't did nothing to my hair today because I've been in the house, quarantined for the most part. Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, Lucretia. Hey, Toya. Hey, y'all. Yeah. Hi, Kevin. Look, I'll always be looking at him as, hey, Lucy Ray. Hey. Y'all, please, hello, Miss Virginia. Y'all, please share my live. I definitely didn't do anything to my hair today. So, hey, hello, Travis. I didn't do anything to my hair today. So, y'all just have to deal with it. But please feel free to share my live. I first wanted to thank everybody that took time out to text me, message me, Facebook me, send me gifts, to make me feel super, super special for my birthday. It was an amazing birthday on yesterday. So I wanted to first start off by telling you all thank you so, so much, just for your love and your support, and just all of your kind words and kind messages that I received. It was definitely heartfelt. I've been trying to go through and thank every single person. So if I hadn't gotten to your name yet on the thank you list, I'm gonna get to it, because I am one of those people that feel like when people take time out to honor you, even if it's just a quick word, that you do have the you kind of have that thing, that policy is like, to me, it's like a policy, you gotta thank people, and so anyway, I was very, very grateful. Hi, Harry. I was very grateful. And so anyhow, outside of my birthday, I was just in the kitchen cooking, and it's really good when you have like eagle friends, because when you have eagle friends, they always send you things that like stretch you mentally. It's always this challenge. And so as I was cleaning and cooking, and just really kind of thinking about my own journey and what 32 looked like, and what I'm expecting 33 to be like, one of the things that God shared with me was that some of the people that entered the room didn't have the stamina to remain. And when I thought about like why I had to have certain losses, because sometimes people look at my life and you guys see all that I'm doing, and I do quite a bit. It's no joke. There's still struggles that I deal with, and there's still insecurities that I have. There's still parts of my heart that's under construction. And so, when you're purposed, you're tested. When you're purposed, you're tested. And so even in the seasons that I've been tested, and I've had some really, really tough tests in 2019, and just as a 32-year-old, I had a lot of tests, but it was pruning season for me. But as God reminded me that sometimes people just only have the capacity to enter the room, but not the stamina to stay in, I had to start accepting, hey, Jimmy, I had to start accepting that. Because sometimes, when you go through seasons and you grow through seasons, you will find that it's lonely at the top, and you'll start wondering, like, God, why is it that the people that come never remain long? Or like, why is it that the people that come, it's almost like as quickly as they come, they go. Hey, Shawnee Taylor. As quickly as they come, they go. And y'all, please feel free to share my live. I meant to put that in the caption, but I'll go back and do that. So definitely share it. I'm sure someone's going to be blessed by this, because it blessed me. And I've gotten to a point, because I am in a season where I feel stagnant. Most people look at me and they're like, how could you possibly feel stagnant? Hey, Yolanda, how could you possibly feel stagnant? Well, I feel stagnant in seasons when I just don't have it all mastered out. Sometimes God gives me so many different ideas and so many different viewpoints and so many different things that I can almost get overwhelmed in my own mind. And hey, Miss Regina, I can get overwhelmed in my own mind. And so it gets me to the point, hey Candy Baylor, it gets me to the point where I feel like, God, this is just becoming too much for me. I'm getting, it's like I need to know what you need me to do, because of the simple fact that, thanks Candy, because of the simple fact that, God, I understand that who I am and who I was called to be are two totally different people. Hey, Mother, Alicia Taylor, who I'm called to be and who I am are two different people. And so as I begin to just think about the friendships, the relationships that I've had, especially just over just the 33 years, as I begin to think about those relationships, I just begin to ask God, like, God, why did those have to go? Why are people so seasonal? Like, God, like, why are people so seasonal? And why is it that every time I think, okay, this person has it, like they've got something, or they have the ability to stay in the room, God quickly shows me that they don't have stamina. And yes, Charnel, yes. Everyone has a season and a reason. Your job, yes. And for me, I've had to really adjust. God took me from a season where everything was just flowing to everything was flowing rapidly. And it's been beautiful. I never complain about it, but I do like to sit and study. I always feel like if God gives me something, it's my job to sit there and study why. When he allows me to enter into things, it's my job to study the why and to really understand, because that's the intimacy of him, right? It's the intimacy of it all. And so I was sharing with one of my girlfriends, Chelsea, earlier. We were just talking about just relationships, because I am in a season where I am, people ask me all the time, are you dating? I'm open to dating purposely. That's my response to people. I'm open to dating purposely. But in doing that, I will say that season is really teaching me something. Because it's way more strategic. It's way more vulnerable than I'm not always comfortable with being. And so I'm very much so stretched in this season. And so, hey, Erica, hey, Chris. And so because of that, it makes me reevaluate why people connect to me, or why is somebody in my life, or like what are we supposed to be doing? God, is this a person that is assigned to me, or are they an assignment? Is there something I'm supposed to be learning that maybe I missed in the other steps? Because, I have those moments. I can't judge anybody else's walk, but that walk I have. And so I was sharing and talking with Chelsea earlier, and she said to me, sometimes people will think that you are abnormal when the truth is you're just misplaced. And I just had to sit with that. And it's definitely going to be a quote on the app this week. Just go and get ready. Because somebody got to hear it that's probably not on social media, but they're on my app. And when she said that it's not that you're abnormal, it's just that you're misplaced, that freed me, because it was getting to the point where I was like, God, like, what you want? Like what are we doing with this? Like, I understand that where I'm about to elevate to, I've got to have proper covering. And I think sometimes for women, especially alpha females, we struggle with understanding that even though we're strong, we still need proper covering. And I know that where I'm headed, I've got to be properly covered, which is why I feel so stagnant where I'm at now, because I'm like, okay, God, I was really fine with just me and you. Now you want me to start operating where I need to allow someone else to come into this level of intimacy with us. Okay, so now we got to deal with that. Now, not only do you want me to deal with that, but God, your people are fickle. I tell people all the time, it's lonely at the top. It's really not what you think. Like it's truly lonely at the top, and it's not just lonely at the top, but it's, the eagle type conversations that you really can't have with ducks. And so, because then they'll make you feel abnormal when you're just misplaced. So in 32, that's what I had to learn. And so I surround myself with people that speak to the eagle in me and who don't allow me to remain at peasant level when I'm a queen, And so I realized that God, like, I'm preparing God for that. Like, I understand that this next season, this next connection, is not about me just having a relationship. Hey, Nanya. Hey, guys. And please share my live. I'm sure what I'm saying will bless someone else. But there's not many eagles. And what I love about the relationships that I have in this season that are connected to my purpose is that they're so quality over quantity. Like, they're so quality over quantity. And so it helps me. But still, even in all of that, understanding that I have to be properly covered. One of my really, really good guy friends asked me the other day, he said, everybody says that they're ready for stuff until it shows up. And I was like, I'm in agreement. That's why I'm just in preparation. I think about the areas in purposeful pain that I suffered with, that I struggled with, like submissiveness. I struggled with submissiveness, but I married for wrong. And I say this, wholeheartedly: when you marry for the wrong reason, you'll divorce for the right ones. And so when that happens, you begin to look at why you why you connected to people, or why this person came in your space, or why you allowed these things to happen, when sometimes the issue is that you're loving from your place of deficiency. But I'm in a season now that I'm ready to love from my place of surplus, because I have so much love to give. Like, sometimes I wondered, like, as women, do you ever just think about, I can't wait to just be good to you? Like, I have those types of thoughts. Like I'm at that point where I'm like, you know what, God, I'm just ready to be good to somebody. Not always looking for somebody to be good to me, because sometimes we do that selfishly. And it's really one of those things where we're just like, me. No, but I'm at a season where I'm like, I'm just ready to serve you. I'm just ready that all of the training that I have, that it's poured into a whole cup, not a cracked one. And so, but even with that, it's like, you got to move a certain way. Everything is so slow. And so I began to look up hybrids, because one of my girlfriends, Sherelle Jefferson, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about her before. She's the reason I even wrote Purposeful Pain, because I would have never written it without her. So, to kind of deviate, that's why it's important, women and men, really, to have people that speak to the purpose in you, because every woman needs a Naomi. And sometimes we're too focused on wanting to be Ruth that we don't look for our Naomis. But your Naomi, it can put you in position, properly place you, so that way you can, connect to, to the Ruth, right? To the Boaz in you. And so anyway, I'm constantly at a building phase. And so the people that are in my inner circle, those are the things that we talk about. Those are the types of conversations that we have. And so, I know for me, different from some people that may connect or get in relationships or attach themselves to people. Sometimes it's about them, but for me, it's about purpose. I know that my next level is going to break another level of generational curses when I connect to the person that carries the other half of my purpose, right? That complements my purpose, not carries the other half, but complements my purpose. And so I'm preparing for that, because a person that truly is preparing for greater, they prepare in their off season. They don't wait for the game to start preparing. They prepare when the game not going. They prepare when, they don't have certain practices every single day. So when you're really preparing for something, you prepare in your off season. So that's how you know if people really prepare for what they say, because they prepare when it's not even here yet. That's faith. You prepare when it's not here yet. And so for me, my entire life is about purpose. My entire life is about usage of God, by God. So when I move or when I connect to people or when God allows me to pour into people, it's always, 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 always about purpose for me. Like, I gave up my selfishness probably 2 years ago. My selfish reasons for wanting things or liking certain things or wanting to have certain things. I gave that stuff up when I gave up my life for purpose. And so I know that, okay, this next season, God, it's not about me, And so I think that for me, sometimes it gets frustrating because it's like, sometimes you just want it to be about you. People don't want to be honest sometimes. We want to play and pretend like it's always about God. It ain't always fun. It ain't always fun because, when you're a hybrid, the beauty of a hybrid is that those types of people, they operate on two different sources. So where a regular vehicle can just operate on just one source, which is, just regular gasoline, a hybrid doesn't. When we're talking about cars, and it's the same thing in people. When you deal with people that have hybrid personalities, they operate with two different energies. And so Sherelle always says all the time, I'm a hybrid. I'm a hybrid. And so I had to go and look that up tonight. Like, I was like, God, I just need to know more about this hybridness. Hey, Michael, my brother's on here. Just more about being a hybrid, because I was like, is it that I'm too much, or is it that you not enough, or is it that we just connect? Like, what's the reason for the connection? Because I'm not connecting with anybody off GP in this season at all. Like, when God reminded me that I was his favor and not his favorite, like, that absolutely freed me. I'm not anybody's favorite because I don't compete where I don't compare. And so, when you take that level of feeling like you need to compete where you don't compare off the table and you just become, that puts you at a different level of movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, because at that point, you're not trying to like I put up a post earlier this week. I'm not trying to compete with my sisters. I'm just going to support you. Like, I'm not trying to compete with you. I'm here to support you. I'm here to serve you, right? Because, to whom much is given, much is required. And sometimes people will look at your blessings, and sometimes people will look at what you have, and they begin to think like, oh, it must be easy. You don't even understand the mantle that I carry, ma'am and sir. It's not easy. It's not even fun most days. Imagine living your life in a fog. That's how I live. Imagine living your life, where your thoughts are what others would say abnormal, but in your world, they're absolutely normal. It's a completely different conversation at that point. And so when I think about all the things that I learned in my year of 32, it's all been in preparation for 33 to break yokes. And so my whole life has been transformed into the breaking yokes phase. And, as a hybrid, I had to understand that, I'm not going to have things like other folks, Hi, T. Hi, Lamar. Please share my live. I don't have conversations like other people. The way I think about things, other people are like, who can do it? Me? Like, I'm kind of called to this. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to just be careful, like, who you share those intimate levels of your relationships with, right? Because people have the ability to sometimes to kill the very thing that God is grooming you to do. I got my hair done today, and I was talking to my girlfriend Nadia, another Eagle, and she said, a lot of times we like to justify what we want to stay in. And I was like, that's definitely coming to the app this week. But that was just a whole word, that a lot of times we like to justify the things that we want to stay in. And as I began to think about that, I was like, and that's why I just can't settle. because I don't want to justify why I'm here or why I'm in the room and or why I'm connecting to certain people. And I'm not talking about settling as in a romantic relationship. I'm talking about settling in my life. When your mindset turns into let's set the legacy in stone, that's a different type of conversation. I'm not trying to, I don't want to talk about your job. I want to talk about your purpose. And I think that for queens and wives that are God's favor, those are the types of conversations that sometimes it put people on edge. I'd be like, God, I thought these people had this stuff together. Give them 2 weeks. God be like, mm-mm. And sometimes it don't be 2 weeks. For me, it'd be like 7 days, number for completion. These people do not have their stuff together. God sometimes be like, your expectation is really high. And so, you have to, those ego relationships really make or break you. They really do. And I'm just grateful at 33. I have ego relationships that really, really make me rise up in areas that sometimes I just want to stay silent in. Sometimes I don't want to rise up. Sometimes I just want to sit over here in a corner and act like I ain't got no sense. Maybe I don't know as much as I think I do. But life just doesn't let you do that. And so I just really felt led to share, outside of just thanking everybody for the happy birthdays, but really just reflect with you on God's goodness in my life and who he's called me to be. And sometimes, who people think we should be and who God's called us to be is always two different people. Always two different people. Candy Bailey, you already know me. You have so many ego conversations. It don't make sense. But it's beautiful. This season that I'm in is just beautiful. And even though I have moments when I get frustrated with God, like right now, when I'm like, okay, God, what do you want? What do you want me to do? How do you want this next tour to look? When God gave me Purposeful Pain, he gave me all the chapters for the book. He, gave me, visions, okay, what it needs to look like, where we need to go with this, how this needs to go. And with intimacy, he's just like, boop, figure it out. Boop, just sit over here with me. And I'm just like, so are you calling me to be with you more? Are you asking me to be with you even more than I already am? Because I don't know what you want me to do with this thing. I wasn't even trying to write this thing, so for it to now be this way, hey, Allison, for it to now be this way and for my focus to be so much on purposeful connections, it's unreal. And so if you haven't gotten the book Intimacy, you need to get the book Intimacy. It's one of those reads that men and women both can read it. It's not a woman's book by any means. My brand is not a woman's brand by any means. It's a family brand. And so it's, just me trying to figure out, okay, intimately, God, what are we doing? Where are we going? What do you want from me? It gets rough. It gets rough sometimes going through the process of elevation. But I can assure you that even though it gets rough, it's never has gotten rough enough for me to turn back around. It's never gotten that rough. So these are just the chronicles of a 33-year-old hybrid that just got some anointing on her life. You know what I'm saying? Just some way, somehow, God keeps saying, hey, I want to use you again, and I want to do it differently this time. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. And so I think my biggest takeaway of the night when he arrested me in the kitchen as I was cooking was that it's not that you are abnormal. It's that you're just not properly placed. And that everybody that enters the room doesn't always have the stamina to stay. And so I pray that those two quotes free you. that it blesses you, that it makes you think about yourself. Hey, Cheryl Zay, that it makes you think about your life and where you are now, and maybe where you're headed or where you hope to be headed. Because he does know his plans and thoughts of you. He really does. And even when we think that he's not thinking of us, he's absolutely thinking of us. And yeah, and it's gonna be well. It's gonna be well. So I just knew I had to share it and know that I have more to do. I just don't always want to do it. Do y'all have those moments too when God tell you to do something, you be like, God, not tonight. I'm acting like God, my man. I'm like, God, not tonight. What you want me to do? Cook? Not tonight. Not tonight, God. But you know, you don't get to choose when he uses you. That's the signing bonus. That's what they don't tell you. You don't get to choose when he uses you. People just be like, you're so anointed, but they don't even know you be anointed and terrified on the inside. You be anointed and terrified on the inside because you're still human. You know, you're still human. You still feel things. You still wonder about things, and you also wonder, okay, God, this is going to be a lot. I'm just trying to fit in, and you want me to stand out. That's my number one. Me and God go round and round with that, because I just be trying to fit in, and he just be wanting me to stand out, and I be like, God, I didn't feel like doing all that. I didn't feel like, I know I'm anointed. That's good. Truth is, I really don't feel like doing all that. So, you know, can you just let me live, please? Can you let me live? But hey, Fayon. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here, share my thoughts with you. Thank you so much for wishing me a happy birthday. Thank you so much for praying for me, supporting me, sharing my live, buying my books, downloading my app, telling somebody about it. My life is not here to worry about wealth. My life is here to set the legacy in stone. It's just a different kind of lifestyle. Hey, Kimberly Kemp, which is a completely different kind of lifestyle. You know, some people live their lives wanting to be rich, while others live their lives wanting to set the legacy in stone. So know the difference. Be the difference. Have a good night. Gotta go tend to my kids. Think they're hungry again. Bye.